Welcome back to True Turnings. My name is Dennis, and what we're going to do today is another quick little video. I'm just going to turn one of the Royal Palm cast blanks. I've got this one glued up and tubed for a Sierra. This is one of my Horde colored blanks for any of the World of Warcraft players out there in anticipation of the vanilla release coming up this week. For all of you non-gamers, though, it's a giant game. Lots of people play it. Spent a lot of wasted time on it. But anyway, I'm going to also use the freshly sharpened Easy Wood Tools carbide. As you can see from the last video, I just sharpened it, so figured we'd go ahead and go along and see how well the freshly sharpened carbide actually works. So let me go ahead and get the lathe fully set up here, and we will get straight into turning. And like I said, this is one of my personal custom cast resin blanks. This one is Royal Palm resin with some man-eater mica in it, I believe. Basically just some red and black, a little bit of pearlescence in it as well, just to give it a little shimmer. On this one, I painted the inside of the blank and the tube. I painted it white just to kind of lighten it up a little bit. See how well that goes. Next one, I might do black just to darken up the resin itself. But let's go ahead and get this turned, and then I'll walk through the finishing stages of it as well, using the Zona paper instead of micro mesh, and see what type of shine we can get on this. Alright, so once again, let me go ahead and get this started. Audio will be a little bit muffled at times, if at all, from me, because I am using my face shield during just the roughing stages, because these resin blanks, they do like to chip quite a bit. So let me go ahead and get that started. Get the cord out of the way. There we go. Sorry about that. Alright. There we go. Alright, almost round. I don't know if you notice there, this blank I'm heating up quite a bit. I'm taking some very aggressive cuts on it. So I'm not sure if that showed up on video or not. Normally you would not want to take that aggressive of a cut, especially during the roughing stage. But I know the blanks and I know my tool, so I'm pretty confident I wasn't going to get a lot of chip out, which I didn't. But it's a very rough cut onto it itself. So we'll go ahead now and finish getting this back down the round. There we go. Now we've got her back down the round. And great, annoying ribbons coming off of it, which is what we want to see. But they're very annoying. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead now and get this actually to its final shape. I'll probably speed up through this part of the video. And we'll come back, pick it up with the audio once I've got it down to my finished size before sanding. Sorry if I keep putting my hand in the camera. Almost. Let's see where we're at now. That's there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead, pause this video. I'm going to get the lathe cleaned up, and we're going to go into finishing this one. Alright, stay tuned. Okay, here we are, we're back. Got the lathe cleaned up now. All of the ribbons off of it. Still a little proud. Got a little super glue CA on these bushings, so I was a little bit proud, but I can fix that in my final sanding. Tool marks in it, that'll come right off. Now, my normal finishing process for acrylics are really simple. I start off wet sand completely. I've got water, just plain old water underneath lathe, and I use some 500 grit wet dry sandpaper to start with. And that'll just get all the tool marks off of it, and in this case, I'll get me back down to closer to where I really should be, because I'm about a thou off here. And then from there, I move into Zona paper. And I love Zona paper. I've said it in every video I've done. It's a great polishing cloth, especially on a CA finish or a resin of any sort, whether it be epoxy, aluminite polyurethane, even acrylic. I don't know how to pronounce that one. But the other one from the big box stores. As you'll see as we're going through, this will really start to take shape. So let's start with, and since I am wet sanding, I leave the lathe on full speed. No, I should turn it down, but being the belts, I got to change it. I've gotten used to just knowing my light touches and doing it at full speed. Now, if I had a Rikon variable speed, a Jet, a Powermatic, any of the big boys, I would turn this down for the sanding and then increase it as I move up through the Zona paper grits. But just go ahead and let's get started. And like I said, just very light touches. Don't want to overheat the blank because it is a resin, so when you already start to see some of the color coming out in that. Normally what I'll put down is a Menards or a big box store plastic shopping bag on the lathe bed, but I don't happen to have any out here because I haven't gone to the store lately. And I was too lazy to go into the house and grab one. So, scrap piece of MDF that was out of the garbage pile anyway. Yeah, I'm just about right where I want it to be. Was that just light touches? When wet sanding, a very important part is, and a lot of people don't touch on this, is you got to keep it wet. It's not like if you're machining something, you need a little bit of cutting fluid on the tip of the drill bit. This is more of a milling process, if you're familiar with that, to where you're going to keep it, you need to keep it flooded. That water is what's keeping this paper cool, it's keeping it from clogging up, and it's keeping that blank from getting too hot and just melting. And that's no fun to get a melted sandpaper spot in it. Let's see where we're at there. Oh, that's perfect. And then of course with anything, fresh piece of the sandpaper, and go horizontal against the normal way you were going, just to get all those sandy marks out of it. Once that's done, I'll do a little wipe. And then from there, we're going to move into the Zona paper and just go through all 6 grits. And for this demonstration, I'm using, well, actually, let me hold off on that for 1 second. I'm not going to do that. I was going to, sorry for the audio there, I had to walk to the other side of the shop. I was going to use double the size just so you could see the paper itself, but I want to show here exactly how little amount of this and how far it goes when you're using it. You can see the small sheets that I'm using, and they come in a lot larger than that. So then we'll just go back, and again, it's just very light touches back and forth. You're going to let the paper do the work. And of course, it's keeping it wet. And I don't know if the camera angle is picking it up or not, but you'll start to see kind of a slurry form. And that's when you know you've actually, you've cut through it. And I do the same thing. I'll go back against the way I was sanding, reverse horizontally to get all of the whole micro scratches out of it before moving on to the next grit up. And we'll just keep doing this as we're going through it. And you're going to see how quickly this polishes up. And I found when a lot of these, I don't even need to go to the buffing station after this. It'll be a little plastic polish maybe if needed, but it's generally going through these and then you're golden at the end. So it's that same thing. Back and forth, get rid of any micro scratches that may be in there, and then move on to the next grit. There's 6 grits total. So I'm just going to go through now and finish up the rest, and I'll come back, slow it back down when we get to the very final grit. Alright, moving on to the last grit now within the zona paper. And then we will see from there whether I really need to buff that at all. And I don't think I'm going to need to on this one. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and try this off. See where we're at. Now that is a beautiful, beautiful blank. Now I don't have the pen kit yet. They are in order that I'm going to mount that to. But I wanted to go ahead and get it turned. And let's take a look at that now. Under the light, so you can see this. That is just a beautiful, beautiful finish. I don't know if that's picking it up or not, but all right. And once again, that's just using the zona paper straight from the tool. And what they come in is a very large sheet. Those of you who are not familiar with it, just zona paper. And as I say, they're 8.5 by 11 inches. They're folded over inside this package. I'll put a link down below to Amazon where I get mine. I love them. They're amazing. As you can see, they just leave a perfect finish. I'll leave a link to those down as well as the Easy Wood Tools Easy Start Finisher. Great tool. Harbor Freight lathe, which don't need to leave a link for that. Harbor Freight sandpaper is also what I use for it. But I'm going to go ahead now, wrap up this video. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you got any questions on any of the techniques that I use while turning, any of the tools, or any suggestions on what you'd like to see me turn, or carve on the little desktop CNC, which that video is coming up next. Got a couple designs I'm working on. I've got to figure out how to record my screen while setting up easel so we can walk through that. But other than that, I'm open to any suggestions, comments, criticisms, or heck, you need somebody to vent to and yell at. Go ahead and drop that down below in the comments as well. And then while you're down there, click that subscribe button. That would be really appreciated. And if you don't mind, ring that bell so you're first to get notified anytime I upload a new video. And as I build up my subscriber count here, I've got some giveaways I might actually think about doing just to kind of say thank you for watching. And one of those may be actually, maybe say when I hit 50 subscribers, just a very low number, I'm going to give away a package of Zona paper to somebody randomly. So go ahead and keep that in mind. Once again, thank you for your time. Have a great day. And if you're a turner, do a good turn every day. If you're a CNC router guy, make something. Make somebody smile. At the end of the day, do what makes you happy. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm Dennis with True Turnings.